what we say on the Democratic side is we cannot waste this historic moment, this singular opportunity. Let's not do something that is a token, half-hearted approach. Excuse me.
That was Senator Dick Durbin talking about Republican legislation that's been spearheaded by Tim Scott, the only black Republican senator. Here's some of Senator Scott's rebuttal.
To think that on this day, as we try to make sure that fewer people lose confidence in this nation, to have the senator from Illinois refer to this process, this bill, this opportunity to restore hope and confidence and trust from the American people, from African Americans, from communities of color, to call this a token process hurts my soul for my country, for our people. But on the other side, they're wanting to race bait on tokenism, while this legislation will provide resources for body cameras, for anti-lynching, for de-escalation training. But no, we can't concern ourselves with the families I sat with at the White House yesterday and in my office yesterday. Instead, we want to play politics because this is 2020 and we're far more concerned about winning elections than we are having a serious conversation on reform in this country. No, we would rather have a conversation about tearing this country apart.
America is getting torn apart by the people and politicians who care more about power and their ideology than they do about their neighbor. I had a spirited conversation yesterday with a really good friend of mine. We were talking about what happened in Atlanta with the killing of Rayshard Brooks. We see it a little differently, and that's okay. We'll be spending Father's Day together with our families, having a barbecue on Sunday. We'll probably talk about it some more then, but what I won't do is make his race a part of the conversation, because that's what you do if you don't actually want to have a conversation. That's what you do if you want to create division. Did I mention my friend is black? You see, friends can have disagreements and maintain respect for each other. Honest politicians can have disagreements and maintain respect for each other. Using the word token was about as disrespectful as Dick could be. I moved to the city I live in a few years ago and met my friend at the gym playing basketball. Let's call him Alex. His wife was pregnant and my wife was pregnant. He was a nice guy. I was new in the area. I said, hey, we should set up some play dates for the kids once they're born. And now we're friends. And our wives are friends. And our babies are friends. We'll probably vote differently in the upcoming election, but we're still friends. But there are a group of politicians and ideologues out there working overtime who want us to be enemies. Dick Durbin, a white senator, brought a black senator's race into the conversation when all he had to do was talk about the actual legislation.
Let's not do something that is a token, half-hearted approach. Excuse me.
A white man using the word token is almost comical, if it wasn't sad. Senator Durbin holds the second highest Democratic position in the Senate. He's a leader in their party, and that's how he leads, by race baiting. I mean, that could be the example they use in Merriam-Webster's dictionary. Race baiting, noun, the unfair use of statements about race to try to influence the actions or attitudes of a particular group of people. Example, Dick Durbin says that the only African-American Republican senator, Tim Scott, has led the Republicans in proposing token legislation. I'm so tired of how they're trying to divide us. If George Floyd would have been white, I would have felt the same way about that cop's actions. Just watch the video of Tony Timpa dying while cops are on top of him.
Hey, Tony, what'd you take? Yeah, he took something. Sound like he was snoring. I gave him 5. Is that Narcan?
Oh, the Green Oaks cocktail, like
He just moves. Oh, okay.
I think.
Oh, little freak. He didn't just die down there, did he?
I don't think he did.
Is he breathing? Hope I didn't kill him.
They did kill him. or at least contributed to his death. But because Tony was white, there isn't any political upside to him dying under a cop's knee. That's why most people had never heard of him until a black guy was on video dying in a similar fashion. United we stand, and divided we fall. Dick Durbin wants us to fall. Anyone who can go on the Senate floor and use the word token to describe legislation that the only black Republican senator is putting forth is trying to divide us. He doesn't care about the issue. He cares about scoring political points. He cares about winning in November. And more sad than that, for Democrats, the last 3 years have been about removing Trump from office. And that's what BLM is about too. I'll let the Black Lives Matter Global Network co-founder speak for herself.
How do you think Biden matches up compared to President Trump when it comes to these issues that are important to you?
Well, hands down, Trump not only needs to not be in office in November, but he should resign now. Trump needs to be out of office. He is not fit for office. And so what we are going to push for is a move to get Trump out, while we're also going to continue to push and pressure Vice President Joe Biden around his policies and relationship to policing and criminalization. That's going to be important. But our goal is to get Trump out.
It's all about getting Democrats elected. And that's why we're so divided. Coming together under a Republican president is not allowed. Dick Durbin has been a senator since Bill Clinton was president. He's been the Senate Democratic whip since 2005. So why didn't they try to pass police reform sooner? Because they're not trying to make things better. Democrats can't get elected if we're not divided. And Democrats can't win a debate honestly. That's why Senator Durbin had to use the word token. He had to make sure that people think Senator Scott is a sellout. Black people aren't going to support legislation concerning racial issues coming from an Uncle Tom. Now, factor in how Democrats gloss over the far-left elements of the BLM movement and Antifa, and I'm not sure we have better days ahead. Democrats might have gone past the point of no return. I've never been more worried about the future of our country than I am right now. In Dave's last video, he said that we need to pull together as a people, or we might wake up one morning and find that the country we all love has ceased to exist. He's right. Those of us who love this country need to come together to stop those who don't from destroying it. My fear is that it's already too late. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and if you want to become a supporting member of Blue Collar Logic, click on the link in the description and give what you can.